welcome everybody to Drunk Dudes in a Gun Room. And as always, this show is brought to you by Operation Encore. Operation Encore is a 501c nonprofit. They are helping veterans become rock stars every single day. You can go over to operationencore.org. Check them out. Hit that little donate button if you can give them a hand, and follow them on social media and learn what they are doing for the veteran community. Hey, today, so we're getting to the end of season 2. There's going to be a lot of changes coming for season 3. We ended this year in the top 10% of all podcasts in the world. I'm blown away. I have no idea how that happened, but I know it's because of you guys. So I wanted to end this year with a few things. I wanted to do some recaps of the top 10 episodes that you guys chose by downloads. And then we're also going to have an episode of my top 10 favorite moments through season 2. So without any doubt and without any further ado, let's get into it. What's going on?
Trying to get the dogs to shut up barking. So
I don't feel bad. My dog over here, she has made herself on the air several times. So
we have 6 dogs right now. So
wow.
Yes, 2 are mine, and then 4 are my best friends, and everybody is excited, and they have been quiet until I got on the podcast, and now everybody is a superstar.
That's it. I'm telling you, we raise hell over here. So why don't you give everybody a real quick background of how Jen Ford became Jen Ford?
Well, I was born to Joe and Julie Ford first.
There's a good start.
That's the first thing that made me myself, I guess. My dad was a Marine, and I was born while he was stationed at Camp Lejeune, and my parents were from Texas, and he finished up his service when I was still a baby, and they moved back to Texas, and I've been here a diehard Texan my whole life, and they moved out to the Piney Woods up near Kilgore, Longview, to a town called Carthage, Texas, and I grew up there. Basically graduated from Carthage High School and went to college on a music scholarship. I've always been a musician. I've always been an entertainer. Always been into making productions and planning, exciting, entertaining events. As a child, I played on the piano and made a lot of noise, had a guitar when I was a little girl. I never learned how to play it until I became an adult, but it's been about music. It's been about having a good time. And I guess when I went to college, I really had the idea that I wanted to see the world, coming from rural East Texas, and my dad served and my grandfather served, and I was the oldest.
Southern accent.
I wanted to have opportunities for education and financial stability, and also see the world and do something, that was unexpected. And also didn't want my parents to tell me what to do. I was tired of people telling me what to do. So I joined the military, where they tell you what to do.
Absolutely. So if I'm not mistaken, you went in the Army as a MP, correct?
Yes.
How did that go over with Dad as a Marine?
That did not go over well. First of all, if I could do it all again, I would not have chosen being an MP. I think G.I. Jane was super popular in 1996 and 97, and I had it in my mind that I wanted to
head and becoming a Ranger or a
like
SEAL,
a sniper or something.
Okay.
And I could have been an intel analyst with my GT score. I could have been like a nuclear scientist, because I scored really high, and my recruiter tried to talk me out of it. But I was dead set on being an MP. We had law enforcement in my family. My grandfather was an MP in the Army, and I felt like that was another way I could be of service and show my parents that you can't tell me what to do because I know the law.
All right. So that was Jen Ford. That was our dollars. I didn't do very well budgeting while you were gone, and everything you made is gone. Well, that conversation didn't happen. Y'all trying to fast forward here. Let me fix this.
In my family, my grandfather.
Week 2. But by that,
in my family, my grandfather was an MP in the Army, and I felt like.
There we go. All right. We got it fixed. So now let's there we go. Get the cameras right. Man, I'm learning. So it is crazy, man. Jen Ford was a hoot. I had an excellent time on that interview. It was amazing. The stuff that she said, man, I thought I was sporadic. Man, you never knew what she was going to say. And I remember in that episode we also talked about a few songs, and man, she had a song on there I had to play, and it took her way back. She hadn't done it for a long time. It was called Hot Mess Express, and I still play it on the radio. It's a great song, man, and it's I think it's a good representation of Jen Ford, because I bet you if she was out and partying, she would be a Hot Mess Express, because I laughed so hard during that interview. So number 9, that was number 10. So number 9 was our interview with Rick Yee. And Rick was very interesting, man. I met Rick when we was talking. I somebody brought me in. They said that he was looking for guests, and I went to him and he interviewed me, and man, we just hit it off. I didn't know anything about the Warrior Way mindset or anything that he was doing, and so I reached out and had him on my show. And by the end of season 2, I had actually signed up and was part of the Warrior Way mindset. I was a student. That's what I'm going to call it. It's an amazing group therapy. If anybody ever asked me if I recommended it or if I would endorse them, 100%. 100%. It is a great program. So if you're struggling out there, I highly recommended them. It did great for me. And I ended up throughout season 2 having a couple opportunities to have Rick on the show. We podcasted together at Hero Stock, and it was a great time. So let's go ahead and get into the episode with Rick Yee. $100. I didn't do very well budgeting while you were gone, and everything you made is gone. Well, that conversation didn't happen until week 2. But by that time, the Army's released you 100% to be with your family now. And just like you said, reach in that toolbox. Now I'm pissed because I don't have any money that I thought I had while I was gone. And all these things I was thinking about doing when I got back, I'm now not going to do. As a matter of fact, I'm going to go get a second job to pay so we don't lose the house, and you've seen it. And that's where the domestic violence comes from, the child abuse, because I hate to admit it, but sometimes, you're pissed off at the wife, and who gets it is the kid, because, you didn't want to hit her. And then all of a sudden the kid did something. And when you go to correct the child, you just vomit right on them, and they get 100% of everything that happened. I've seen it several times.
It's tough. These poor kids too, man, because you're just creating the system to keep perpetuating over and over again. That now they're going to be angry, and now your kid's the bully, and you wonder why. Like why is he like that? How did he get like this? Remember when you just bombed on him for your own shit that you couldn't control?
Yep.
There's a thing. Denzel Washington talks about this on Man on Fire, and I use it all the time in The Warrior's Way. There's only 2 kinds of people. You're either trained or untrained. It doesn't matter what it is. It can be fear, can be doubt, can be anger, can be depression. We train all of it. There's a skill involved, and there's a technique to each thing that does work. We've beaten anxiety. We've beaten all of it. You name it. We have a technique that works, and it keeps working over and over again, which is why I confidently say trained or untrained. If you're unloading on your pack, you're untrained.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I was a leader of blah, blah, blah. Yeah. How's that working out with you when you just tore your kid apart because you couldn't take a deep breath?
Yep.
That's you? You're the leader of what? Destroying your pack? That's the leader? The leader attacks that way? No, it's a conversation, man. It's a 10-year-old kid.
All right, man. I'm going to tell you, man, that's some powerful stuff. And Rick, if you ever get an opportunity to go to Rick's courses, man, like I said, he can bring you in, you can check it out, and you can decide for yourself. But I strongly recommend it. And it's crazy because I didn't realize it now, but fast forwarding and going back and listening to that part, I honestly think I was kind of talking about myself there. I really do. So, man, my hat's off. I think Rick has done wonders to help me, and I think he can help a lot of people. So, number eight, this was a good episode. Derek Stoner. Derek Stoner is a Special Forces, Green Beret, 20-year Army veteran, country music singer, artist. I was so blessed to be able to have so many artists on this year and meet so many people that are probably going to be rock stars one day and superstars and probably forget who I even was. But I got the opportunity to meet them. So I think I'm pretty fortunate there. In this particular one, Derek was releasing a new song. He wrote a song specifically for Special Forces, Green Berets. There's a bunch of songs out there for the other units, the other special ops community. So he wrote one for them. I think you're going to eventually hear it I know you hear it on the Gunroom radio station, but I think you're going to hear it on mainstream radio too, because there's no way the song's not going to be a hit. It's going to resonate to a lot of veterans. So I hope you like it. Coming up next is our episode number 8 with Derek Stoner.
Song for you because it's military as get out, and I just love the song.
I would be honored, man. Go for it.
You want me to do it now?
Yeah, go ahead, man. Awesome. Cool. We caught him off a little guard there for a minute. He had to get all
briefly, the story behind the song. We already talked. I'm a Special Forces guy. Well, I really like a group called Whiskey Myers. I'm sure you're familiar with them. Love the music that they put out, a lot of it. And a few years ago, they put out a song called Frogman.
Okay.
In honor of the Navy SEALs.
Mm-hmm.
And I've worked with a bunch of SEALs in my career, and I love those guys. But I was like, yeah, that's cool for the Navy SEALs, but what about us SF guys or Green Berets? And we do have the Ballad of the Green Beret. That's a post-Vietnam song by a Green Beret himself named Barry Sadler. But I was like, we're going to need to update this. So I wrote a song for SF specifically, but it really goes out to all special ops folks and the stuff that they do on the day-to-day basis. And, now that I'm a civilian, I really appreciate that stuff because I got friends that don't holler at me from overseas right now. And I'm like, man, I know where you're at. I know you're probably sucking right now. And I'm just, thank you, man. Because I'm at home, I'm watching like Seinfeld or something,
Yeah.
In AC. So it feels good. This song's called Bad Man Finder. I've got salt rings on my sleeves. This desert heat makes it hard to breathe. I wake up when the sun goes down. Gotta prep these tools of the trade. My guns are oiled and I got my blade.
Gonna bring old glory into your house. You better run and you better hide. We don't knock before we come inside. You can say goodbye to all your friends and forget about the world you've been living in. I'm a bad man finder. Bad man finder. Dark cloud fills the air as the ships of the sky, they're coming down to bear. My feet hit the ground, I'm running, I'm gunning for you. Razors light up the night, the flash of a muzzle, it's a firefight. 3, 2, 1, boom, let the party begin. You better run and you better hide. We don't knock before we come inside. You can say goodbye to all your friends and forget about the world you've been living in. I'm a bad man finder. Bad man finder now. Yeah, you better run and you better hide. We don't know before we come inside. You better say goodbye to all your friends and forget about the world you've been living in. I'm a bad man finder. Bad man finder. Bad man finder now. I'm a bad man finder.
Man, I think he is too. I'm pretty sure he is a bad man finder. You know, it is crazy now that we're actually taking the time to go back through some of these top 10 downloaded episodes, and never even thought about it, how much this podcast has grown and the improvements. You look at the lighting and the audio and everything that happened just months ago, from recording back then to now, and it's crazy. I mean, I've always lived with that philosophy of every day try to improve your foxhole, and that's what I've done. And I think it really shows. I hope you guys notice it. I'm noticing it sitting here. So that was number 8 with Derek Stoner. He ended up singing several songs during that episode, but that was one of my favorites. It's one of his newer songs. There's some really cool things that are coming up for Derek Stoner this year, and I can't wait for him because I'm going to finally get to meet him. It'd be a great time. Let's talk about number 7. So number 7 is one of the original Operation Encore artists that I got to interview. His name is Zach Sliver, and he is a Marine veteran. One of the favorite songs, he goes by the band name Yuppie, and one of my favorite songs is Scoundrel. I still to this day play it all the time on the radio. So let's go ahead and check out number 7. The number 7 top 10 downloaded from the season. So here we go.
And I love creating under the moniker Yuppie. So I've released a handful of records, and thankfully I'm very humbled that I could be accepted in the Operation Encore family. They're about the most supportive people, and I wouldn't be where I am musically if it wasn't for the board and
I wouldn't
everybody.
be where I'm at with the radio station.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you, man, they've helped me out a ton with this radio station. You know, Guy is an amazing person. He's the main person I've talked to, but he is without a doubt an amazing person. So
Truly.
yep. Operation Encore is it's a great organization. So you went in the Marines. What drew you to the Marine Corps?
Honestly, if you could have picked, I went to a pretty big high school. There was about 1,200 of us. And if you could have picked 700-800 people that would have joined the military, I wouldn't have been one of those people. One day a lot of my friends were getting into different things that I didn't want to be associated with. A lot of partying, and I don't know. I was pretty much late for every 3 o'clock class in college that I had when I was 18. So I was a little aimless. So I requested information for the Marine Corps, and they're really good at their job.
Yes, they are.
Damn recruiters.
It just seems super appealing. And I remember my dad being like, "Are you really joining the Marines?" And I was like, "Yeah." So I joined in 2010, served 4 years as a field radio operator. Originally, I was a line of sight radioman, but those MOSs kind of merged together. But yeah, I spent 2 years in Okinawa and 2 years in Quantico, Virginia. Give or take a few months, training and everything.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun and kind of helped steward my music career.
Yeah.
I started a bar band when I was in Okinawa called Angry Young and Poor.
Okay.
And just started to write tunes in my barracks with other service people, and it's fun.
All right. That was number 7. So number 6. Let's get into number 6. Number 6 is an organization that is going to be doing huge things. I know they will. The Lord is going to help them do it. And I can't wait to see what they come up with. They've been going through some trials, some tribunes, and so all the work that they're doing is not from handouts. They have put some real work and energy into their program. So number 6 is no surprise to me that it was in this top 10 of downloaded episodes, but that is our episode with Deuce Ministry Outfitters. Chris goes by Preach, came on the show. Let's see what little segment I pulled from that, because I know I really enjoyed it. There was a lot of parts I could have pulled from this, but we'd been here all day. So without any further ado, let's go.
But people ask Miss J, why did you ever stay with him if he was that much of a delinquent? And she said, because God told me he had a plan for us. It wasn't about me and it wasn't about him. It was a plan about us together. Yeah. Well, that plan, come to find out, was Deuce Outfitters Ministry.
That's awesome.
And it just, connected us to where it's like she's my right brain, I'm her left brain. And, it's amazing what just having the faith the size of a mustard seed. And I don't know if you've ever seen a mustard seed, but it's about the size of the head of a stick pin.
Yep.
That's all the faith that it takes. And it's about having that conversation with Jesus and trusting in what he tells you.
Wow. And he is so right. I've met Chris a couple times. I met him up there at Hero Stock and a few events. And man, if you're out there, Chris, I love you, because you're doing some great things. I hope you and Deuce Ministry Outfitters become bigger than the VA, because a lot more good will be done. So number 5. We're halfway there. It is funny that there's one episode from season 1 that's still in the top 10 of downloads, and I never expected it. But number 5 is that episode, and it is crazy how far back. Like that episode with Deuce was one of the last episodes that I used Zoom on, and so to see a Zoom episode, there's another one that's fixing to come because all of season 1 was done in Zoom, but man, what a difference. That's all I'm gonna say. So I've got to get Deuce back on again, and do another updated video with him, because the stuff that he's doing, it would be great, and doing it with a better setup is going to be that much better for you guys. So this next one was from season 1, with the original host, myself, and Doug Norton. This was this was a wild one. This was called Funny Hunting Stories. And we were talking about it was turkey season, and hunting season was getting ready to start, and everybody was getting anxious. And I'd been doing some squirrels hunting, and I got to go turkey hunting that year. And I think at the end of the day, man, it was a rough year, but there was some pretty funny stories. So let's get into it.
You ever been coyote hunting?
I'm about to.
Yeah, coyote hunting.
Yeah.
Yeah, or whatever comes across our way, or
Yeah.
well, legally no.
If it's in season.
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, absolutely. So, I mean, this will be the first time we're breaking the Foxborough out at this site, right?
Yep.
Break it out, see if we can call in some damn little bastards, and
Yep.
maybe Ethan will get his first kill too.
I think he
You
should
know?
get first shot.
Well, he'll get first shot. Yeah. Well, yeah,
He's pretty accurate, so he might hit.
he's probably more accurate than we are
Yeah.
anymore.
At our age, we shape.
We so I mean, have you did any more hunting in Missouri here?
Some squirrel, turkey.
You did go turkey?
I did. I went.
Man,
turkey.
there's so many fucking stories out there about the turkey hunting here in Missouri.
This year was a bad year for turkey hunting. I mean, everybody I talked to struggled to get a turkey.
There's a couple people I talked to that fucking shot that fucking turkey 5 fucking times and it never dropped.
Arnold Van Tom or some shit.
They kept the turkey decoy. I mean, I just laugh my ass off when they tell me this story because I've heard it twice, and fucking every time, man, it just brings tears to my eye. I'm just like, so, just the look on your face when you walk up and you say, "Fuck, it's a decoy."
Yeah, that was a rough year, man. Hardly anybody got turkeys, but somebody did get a nice tom with made out of plastic or fiberglass. That was man, those are some good episodes. And a year later, I'm now noticing all the echoing and everything else that was happening. But that was the original place that the show started from. That gun room right there, belonging to a buddy of mine, the co-host there, Doug Norton. Man, some good stuff came out of that room. Some good firearms came out of that room. So those are some good times, man. I definitely miss them. But let's go into number 4. So number 4, this was, everybody has those episodes that they wish they could take back. And this one this was pretty high in the top 10. And probably at the time, a lot of people didn't know my mess up, but I ended up having to reach back out to Sean Lowry and apologize because I was scrambling and not prepared. Another lesson learned in the world of podcasting. But I went to his website and I thought I found his podcast, but I found a podcast that he was on and didn't realize it. And I put that person's podcast scrolling at the bottom of it. So I had the wrong podcast, but it made the top 10 for sure, all the way up into the top 5. So everybody must really loved Sean Lowry or my mess up. But here we go. Number 5, Sean Lowry. Now I'm gonna learn this flipping cameras. How many people remember seeing that meme? But the one that said it was a picture of some guys on an old 5-ton, and it said 1 weekend a month, 2 weeks a year, my ass.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah.
Dude, y'all were getting
Listen,
it
the
too,
recruiter's
man.
going to tell you that. The recruiter, they try to make it seem like, oh, you're just going to do that 2 weeks a year, 1 weekend a month. I wish they would just be honest, because most people that join the National Guard aren't looking for that. They want to be more active and do more stuff. Just be real. Like, with the schools, with the the 2 weeks a year, with the deployments and all the other crazy stuff, the stateside emergencies. Like, I live in South Carolina, so we had like hurricane duties. Like, we had things we were doing, bro. And especially nowadays, you see all these Guard members out there during the riots and stuff. Like, they play a huge role, stateside and federal.
Yeah, no, I agree, man. And and it's unfortunate because when you start looking at the equipment and the training and everything, the states just don't provide it like they need to. They want to use you guys like active, but they don't want to fund you like you're active.
Oh, hell no. They don't want to do that. You got to get this whole different title, like Title 10 or something. You got to get paid federal money. And they they definitely don't want to pay out the money. They want to use you, but they don't want to pay you. And dude, the one thing I'll never talk bad about the National Guard. Like, they do a hell of a job for what they have. But I just don't like how the schools are and stuff, man. They don't never give you opportunities for schools as much, or it's always some kind of excuse why you can't go, or I don't know. That was the only thing for me, man. Is I just didn't like how every time I wanted to do a school, there was always a reason why I couldn't go.
Yep. No. Yeah. And the people don't understand why you see a 60-year-old E4 because
there's no promotions.
And that was the other thing too. So when 9/11 was, the Afghan war was just really kicked off. When I was with the 160, we were so strapped, man. We literally didn't have anybody to run stateside, and they called in the Iowa National Guard to run our National stateside base there at Hunter Army Airfield. And a lot of good friends from there. Man, I felt sorry for them because a lot of them, were business owners, truck drivers that own their own truck, and their budget and their livelihood is based off of $100,000, that they make a year or whatever, and then they're getting paid active E4.
Yep. I mean, that was a bad part of it for them, but that was also what I used to tell people that made the Guard so great, was because you're taking soldiers that are trained, we know what we're doing, but you're taking a bunch of guys that are mechanics, police officers, construction workers, whatever, and you're putting us all together. So we had, when it came to a great team, we had some pretty impressive resumes.
Yeah, absolutely, man. And
a little bit of everybody.
And that volunteer part of is what makes our military great. I don't care what anybody says. If you take away the ability for people to choose whether they want to be there, and we won't be any different than any other country.
Yep. But you're right, man. That promotion was sorry, bro. Like, when I was getting out, dude, like, I literally retired, medically retired. I mean, they put my certificate doesn't say medically, it says retired, but I know after, basically 9 years, I didn't retire like 20 years. But, dude, even then I was supposed to, like, even after I did 2 tours of Afghanistan, I should have easily been an E5. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
But I got out at, E4 Mafia, right? Because it's like, if you get E4, that's where you're stuck at, unless you do some crazy schools or
move to a place where there's
some slot. Open. Oh yeah, there's a slot open over here and like 4 hours away. It's like, oh, okay. So
yeah, no, I agree, brother. It always did bother me because you guys at that time frame, it was different before 9/11 when there wasn't much going on. But man, after 9/11, you guys were active. I don't care what anybody
Dude,
said,
we
man.
ran the war. I don't care who you are. I mean, if you look at the statistics, bro, like at that time, they were saying there was 150,000 soldiers over there. There was 150,000 National Guard and Reserve units over there.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know where the hell the airborne and all them guys were at, but I know National Guard was deployed, bro. We've been deploying for 20 years, and just my unit deployed 7 times. So I know I did it twice, and yeah, we did our part. They did their part.
I agree.
They can call us nasty girls all they want, but we did our part.
I got a guy that works with me. I give him shit all the time because he was Air Force.
Oh yeah.
So
that makes it
when
even worse.
When he got out, he decided to go into the Air National Guard. And
so you went from chair force to freaking really chair force.
Yeah. I told him, I said, so that's like the air practice guard, right? Yeah. All right, yeah. Shout out to you there, Mr. Brad, Mr. Practice Guard. No, I'm telling you, man, I love all of our troops. You know, I don't care what branch you came in. But you know, internally we all give each other crap. So number 3, this was a special one for me. This will probably be one episode for sure that makes my favorite. Little spoiler alert. But JB Brown, who is an amazing artist. He's a Marine veteran, 17-year combat experienced Marine veteran. And he's a badass country singer. He is out there grinding. I mean, I think he said last year in this episode that he was doing somewhere around 200 gigs for that year. So you think about how many days on the road he was away from his house. I mean, that's like being deployed again. But he's still out there, man, and he's entertaining people, and he is a down-to-earth kind of guy. So I was fortunate enough to get him to come on the show, and we still communicate today. And any luck, I'm going to get to meet him again this year, 2024. So let's get into it. Episode number 3 with JB Brown.
That I didn't want to release. One of them was Church Pew, and the other one was Love Don't Live Here. And in Church Pew, if you've heard the song, it's like you want to talk about just breaking myself wide open and just telling people my problems, you know. That's probably the most personal song that I've ever written.
I was listening to it today.
It's tough, man. It's a tough song. Matter of fact, we're talking here in rehearsal, and we're like, we don't play that much out when we play because it's hard for me. It's hard for me to do. And so, and then the next one was Love Don't Live Here. And actually, Love Don't Live Here was the first song that I released. Released it on my own, just kind of pushed it out there, said whatever may be. I wrote it about a friend of mine, another Marine who was going through a breakup. You hear the line in there, 2:30 a.m. on a Tuesday. That's because his ass called me at 2:30 a.m. on a Tuesday. I couldn't go back to bed, picked up the guitar, and I wrote that song in like 15, 20 minutes. And so released it. And within the first couple of weeks, man, it was like 1 million streams. And then it just started growing, started getting bigger. And then I released Church Pew and the same thing. So then I kind of had the idea. I was like, you know, maybe I should go out there and start doing this on my own a little bit.
All right. So good old number 2 is coming up. And JB Brown, he's got another tour this year. So if you didn't get a chance to see him last year, any luck, he's going to be here in Rolla, all over the United States. He's touring with a couple more artists. It's an acoustic tour. Oh, I'm telling you, man, go see him. So number 2 is a 501c that I've been privileged to work with. We got some things coming up this year. It's Wheels for Warriors. They're also partnered with Hero Stock. I know you know about Hero Stock, but Wheels for Warriors is a 501c that gives motorcycles to veterans. And when I first heard about this and I had them on the show, I was like, what are they doing? But it makes a lot of sense afterwards. Jesse and Craig are out there, and I think they've given away something like over 30 some bikes now in the few years that they've been doing this. 100% of every single donation goes into those bikes. They cover the cost out of their own pocket for their own hotels, their own gas to and from all these events. They go get the bikes themselves. So if somebody's donating a bike in California, loading up a trailer and off they go get the bike. It's not about the value of the bikes, and it's not about the money. It's about the fact that when they're done, they're going to get a veteran that's going to have a bike. He's going to have a group and a network surrounding him to help him or her be able to get some wind therapy out there, get out on the road, have somebody reach out and call at night. So it comes with a sponsor, it comes with insurance, it comes with safety gear, it comes with training if they need it. And yeah, I think it's an amazing program, and I highly support them as well. So number 2 is Wheels for Warriors. We're on, and I got to ask, because you guys were getting ready to head down to the Nebraska football field and give away a bike. How did that go?
That's what we're doing this year. That bike is still in the process of being completed right now.
Oh, okay. I thought you guys already gave it away.
No, it's that bike will be it's during the Veterans game against Maryland this year.
Okay.
Yep. The bike is being painted hand airbrushed by a veteran named Armando Villarreal. You can check him out, Villarreal Studios. Absolutely
an amazing artist.
Incredible airbrush artwork. You know, he's got
trying to get him on the show.
Like some of his clients are like Shaquille O'Neal, Kevin Hart, guys like that. Like he does unbelievable artwork. So
he has huge skills.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
He is painting this bike front to back with like the history of the Huskers. Just to basically tell, like, you know, from the very beginning to where we're at now with the history of the Huskers, and this bike is going to be probably museum quality.
Yeah.
Wow. Somebody's lucky, man.
Yeah. That's top secret.
Oh yeah. I'm sure. Yeah.
All right. Down to the number 1. The number 1 most downloaded song from the Two Drunk Dudes in a Gunroom podcast. You know, this particular episode was a lot of fun because I know you guys got to meet a guy that's got some amazing music, but he kind of opened my eyes to something that I never thought about. You know, I did 20 years and I spent 68 months of those deployed. But I can't imagine the fact that some of these guys came in after the war started and spent a 20-year career fighting this war. 20 years of their life doing combat missions. Well, this particular man did it as a Green Beret. He came in the Army as a Green Beret, and he retired as a Green Beret. That's 20 years in the special operations world. I bet you he doubles the amount of time in the sandbox that I spent. And my hat's off to anybody that does that, because I know if you never deployed, you don't understand it, but man, that is some amazing stuff. So the number 1 downloaded episode is Robert DePrado. Did you go SF straight into it, or how long were you in before you went SF? Did you come in with that?
Yeah. So I went. I actually tried to. I wanted to be airborne. I wanted to be infantry. I just didn't. You know, how many kids really know exactly? I just know I didn't want to be, you know, a cook or something like that. And I'd say,
Right.
again, not taking anything away from that. I just knew I wanted to kind of try to do something high speed and some adventure and stuff like that.
Absolutely.
Didn't really know what it all meant. But there was a Ranger contract, and they said you have to wait like a year at the time or something like that. And then they go, this one's, 18 X-ray Special Forces contract, and, you can still go airborne, infantry, all of that. And you can always, if it doesn't work out, you can go to, try out for Rangers or whatever. So it just didn't seem like I could really lose in that situation. I wanted to get going, start training and go. So I said, well, when do I leave for that? And they said, I think Tuesday. And it was like a Friday night. So I go, okay, I can wait 1 year or leave Tuesday. Thanks. Like, they really give you a lot of choices there.
And I think, so when I came in, I think you had to be an E3 when I came in to put in a packet to go SF. And I think that was another thing that the war changed, because Afghanistan was literally a special ops war. I mean, that's what it started out as. It wasn't going to be this 20-year infantry full army. It was a special ops war, and man, it changed. The selection rate increased. I mean, it was like making the NFL to get selected in SF. When it all first started, and I'm not saying that it increased drastically. It wasn't like 80% of people that went in, but the numbers did increase of how many people was selected during selection. And it was.
And if they hadn't, honestly, if they hadn't, we wouldn't have had a force left. Because
you're right.
Like you said, we were using small operational teams of 10 to 12 guys, sometimes a little bigger, depending on what task force and mission was. But ultimately, we were using, these force multipliers and stuff to control, large amounts of terrain and stuff, which, I kind of argue has never really been the exact purpose of our special operations forces, was the whole terrain like that.
Yeah.
Also, we'll clearly do, anything we have to do. I mean, you're talking about some of the nation's, best fighting men and women out there. They're going to do it and do a good job at it.
Yeah.
But we couldn't have sustained what we were doing over there. Iraq, Syria, Afghanistan, Yemen, Philippines, South America. I mean, you name it.
Yeah.
Couldn't have sustained doing that if we didn't start letting some younger guys in. And, I was just one of those guys,
Yeah. No, I agree.
Lucky to be a part of it. I always say I don't have a single regret in life.
No, I agree, man. I got to see both sides of it. I started out regular Army, and then I did 10 years in the 160th, and then I went, and finished my career in the regular Army. And those 10 years was by far the best part of my career. The camaraderie, the guys that you meet, the people you work with, and it's a different caliber of people. I don't care what rank you are. Everybody just pulls up their sleeves. They get the mission done, and it doesn't matter what it is. And that's what was so amazing to me when I got. All right. So what's going on?
Trying to get the dog.
Whoops. All right. So that was the top 10, man. Mr. DePrado there, Bob DePrado, he has a couple songs, that I think could be amazing. And when he was on that episode, he told me that he recorded those in the garage, and they sounded so damn good. I still play them on the radio. War Brewing, Fighting Man. I mean, amazing songs. And he kind of shocked me because he's reached out recently to me, and he is setting up a podcast, man. And I can't wait till it releases. I will be a fan. My hat's off to you. I hope if you ever need anything, man, reach out, because I think your podcast is going to be amazing, and you've got the community. We're behind you. So let's hear it, man. I can't wait. That kind of brings me to where we're at now. I think at the end of the day, there we go. At the end of the day, there, I get the cameras right. I'm still learning this old Stream Deck thing. So this is the first time I've done it. Give me a break, man. I fixed some audio issues. I fixed lighting issues. I've done a lot of stuff, man. by the next episode or two, I'll have this down too. But hey, I just wanted to thank all of you guys because without you guys listening and downloading, there's absolutely no way that this show would have ever reached where it has gotten to. So that is never forgotten out of my mind. The nonprofit that we're building, the guests that are coming on, I mean, that's all because of you guys. And I appreciate it. And I love every one of y'all. Like I said, there's some really cool stuff coming. I hope y'all stick around for season 3. First episodes will start releasing the first week or so of January. And man, it's gonna be some amazing times. So y'all take care, man. Love y'all. Be safe. And looking forward to season 3.